everybody, and welcome to Vault Talks, the show where conversation is what's most valuable, and nowhere is that kept safer than here in our vault. I am your host, Albert Bushala, and today I have the pleasure of talking with Tobey Lynn. She is a Los Angeles-based singer-songwriter with fantastic releases such as Sunflower Girl, Plot Twist, Loser, and a lot more actually coming soon. So her sound incorporates influences from a wide variety of artists such as Frank Ocean and Olivia Rodrigo, which is why she thrives in any musical situation, opening up for artists such as Alex Page and Rocco. On top of that, Tobey is also an accomplished filmmaker and writer who just recently graduated from Chapman University's Film School Dodge College, which is number 4 in the country. And along with her many talents and accolades, she's a quality person who I've had the privilege of knowing and also sharing the stage with, a true pop star in the making. So, Tobey, like any great pop star story, I want to go back to the very beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about when you fell in love with music for the very first time.
Oh my goodness. First of all, thank you for having me. Hey guys. The beginning. Okay. I grew up in a very, very musical household. I'm Filipino, so it's just like a very common thing to have karaoke always playing. I kind of grew up around my dad was the church band leader, and my mom grew up like playing classical piano. My dad was he was like a punk rock drummer in the Philippines. He had red and blue hair and he smoked cigarettes and he was really cool. And so I kind of was always surrounded by that influence. And I have 2 older siblings as well who have always just kind of led that influence for music with me. They were always bringing home instruments. My brother played the trombone for forever and he played the guitar. Just kind of, there was always music surrounding me. So it kind of just felt extremely natural to put myself into it.
Yeah, cool. What were, coming from a musical family, I guess, what were some of the musical lessons that you were taught, not necessarily about theory, but just about the attitude of actually playing music?
Oh, yeah. I think growing up in an Asian household, for a lot of other people that come from an Asian American background, I think it's really uncommon to be so pushed into the arts and for it to be so encouraged. I was so lucky, and I'm so grateful that my parents are just so into the arts and so encouraging for me to pursue my creative passions. It's kind of always been put what you love first, and I think that's just so important. That's like probably the biggest lesson, is that they've always said, like, even now, when I've just moved to LA post-grad, like, life is so confusing and it's really hard to kind of figure out what I'm doing, but they're always like, you're gonna get there, you're gonna be a pop star, it's gonna happen. And I think slow and steady wins the race. I think eventually it'll start happening really fast, but they've really told me to just like keep believing myself, keep pushing. So
yeah, absolutely. No, yeah. When did you realize that you wanted to be a pop star?
When 2006 High School Musical came out, and I was 4 years old, and that was the first time I've ever seen someone that was Filipino and like kind of resembled me. Seeing Vanessa Hudgens on something so prominent as Disney Channel was like such a huge deal. And immediately, like, my eyes were like twinkling, and I was in love with Zac Efron, obviously.
Come on now.
Who wasn't, right?
Yeah, who wasn't?
But yeah, just immediately I was like, I want to sing, I want to dance, and I want to do that. And I had my eyes set on that ever since I was 4 years old. Yeah. Truly.
Where did the first moments of performing actually start?
Well, I started training in dance when I was 5. Yeah. So dance came before music and singing. But once again, I was just like always surrounded by it. But I never started playing guitar or ukulele or piano until I think I was like 10. And I had my sister teach me the chords to Radioactive at the time by Imagine Dragons, because I was just...
Great times.
I started dancing. I trained in like tap and ballet, and then soon realized I wanted to do like hip hop and the more like modern styles of dance, like contemporary and stuff. And then I started singing with that and doing musical theater camps every year. I've never been in a musical ever, but I've kind of always dreamt of that. I'm kind of like secretly a theater nerd. But yeah, that's kind of where like the first foundation for it came. I didn't start releasing music and making music with my older brother, Jamin, who you guys will see later, until I was about 16 or 15. Yeah.
One of your first original songs they actually put on YouTube, Monday.
Oh my God.
It's really good.
Where did you find these?
It's really good.
This is so funny.
Talk to me about that.
Okay, Monday. I wrote it about this boy. Actually, my dad came up with the concept of the song. It's so funny. Me and my dad always will talk about music. That's like the one. He's sometimes a very quiet dude and shy, but whenever we get started talking about music, like he'll just go and go. So I was 12 at the time. He was like, you should write a song about wanting to see someone over the weekend, and you just can't wait to go back to school until Monday. And I was like, that's kind of silly, but I did it anyways. And it honestly got like, at the time, being 12, it got like, I don't know, 3,000 views or something on YouTube. And it was like, people would ask me at school, like, who's it about? Who's it about? I'll never tell, but I'll never tell. But it was definitely like the first song that I released and like put out on YouTube, and like actually saw people kind of liked it at the time.
Yeah. What made you want to go down that route? Because originally a lot of your older videos, it was actually like back to school stuff. So
that's so true. I don't know, I've always had kind of just like a huge variety of interests, I guess, but something about music and singing I kind of always came back to. I think I grew up really loving creative writing. Like my friend group and I in 4th grade would pass around notebooks and like in between classes and write stories, and like each trade off on writing a chapter. And I think just like creating and having like a really big imagination was always a thing, obviously, as a kid. And so songwriting kind of just really resonated with me and just is something I stuck with.
I swear to you, you have some of the most catchiest melodies of all time. I swear to you, probably like 2 or actually 3 times every week. I'm always actually humming some of your songs.
Thank you.
Where does
I love it.
I gotta know for your songwriting process, where does it come from for you?
Honestly, a lot of it is my own vulnerability and like everything that happens to me. It's so rare that I write a song that's not about me because I'm self-centered. No, I'm just kidding. But usually everything is about me and just kind of a reflection on me, because obviously you write what you know, and it's kind of just the easiest thing for me. Usually, like when I was 17, I got dumped over a voicemail. Shout out. But I like immediately after that happened, like poured songs out of me, you know. And I think when things happen, obviously that's when I have the most spark of inspiration. I think I've liked to try to experiment and try to put myself into other people's shoes or into a character's shoes and write in that way, which I have a few songs coming out soon that are kind of in that realm, which I think is really exciting. Like my song Sellout Star that will be coming, I think is kind of a similar vibe where it's not exactly a direct reflection on me, but I can still resonate with it. And I think it's just like a character. It's fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But where does the willingness to open up yourself to a lot of people, because that's not a easy thing to do.
I think, honestly, it is mostly survival. Like, if I don't sit down at the piano or sit at my guitar, as cheesy as it is, and write and come to terms with what I'm feeling, then I really don't know how else to get it out. You know, it's just like a journal for me. So I think having that outlet, being able to sit alone with my guitar and talk to myself about what I'm feeling is where that openness comes from. It's not, I'm never thinking about like, oh, I'm going to release this song and hundreds of thousands of people will hear it, or whatever, 10 people will hear it. It doesn't matter. I think it's just like about coming to terms with my own emotions and just being able to process things, for sure.
Yeah. And you show that perfectly. And actually I have the lyric sheet right here. Sunflower Girl, the chorus, I swear to you, it honestly speaks to my soul.
Oh my
to
gosh,
the flower fields where I run and hide. It's always safe inside. It never gets lonely. Is songwriting, I guess, your like sunflower field for you?
Oh, totally. I wrote that song when I was 17, which is a long time ago. So I think that song holds a different meaning to me now than it did when I was 17. I think I grew up in a predominantly white town, and I think being a woman of color and being brown, it just like wasn't like a typical thing to see. And so that's kind of what that song was for me, to have a safe place where like I felt like I was myself and I didn't have to assimilate to anyone or try to be something that I wasn't. And I think there's still elements of where I feel that now, but I don't know. As I've grown up, I think the song's a little bit different. But yeah, definitely songwriting is kind of like that oasis for me.
Yeah. Growing up in that environment, we're having like, you know, that contrast of actually people who don't share the similar culture to you versus actually being in your family. I guess, how do those two extremes, how did that impact your view about actually like, you know, being about like, you know, having this like, you know, pride about your culture?
Right. I think it didn't start until I was in college because I grew up in such a predominantly white town where there wasn't a lot of diversity. I just kind of felt like in my own little shelter, kind of. I think with my family, I felt I just felt like a sense of confidence, which was really important.
But you mentioned about karaoke, how your family goes very hard on karaoke.
Hell yeah.
You told me that there's a karaoke party at the very end, like, you know, like around Christmas and New Year's.
Oh my God, yes. So this is called Lahuron. It's actually not, other Filipinos don't do this, apparently. I didn't know that. It's just a Reyes family thing, where at the end of the year, or like at the beginning of the year, it's either Christmas or New Year's, we all gather, and it's like people you haven't seen in a year. So it's so fun. It's like all your extended family, and it's called lahu. The word lahu is to kneel. So we all kneel on our knees around our elders, and we line up youngest to oldest, and we do this thing like this, which is like blessing your elders, kind of like showing respect. And then they give you money. And that's all that happens. And then there's lots of karaoke. We have to put together a number, like we have to put together a song before we get our money, like as a way to get our money. It's very funny. But once you graduate college and you get a real job, you don't get to receive the money anymore. You have to give. So like someone like my older brother, he has to give the money. So it's very funny having to do that to your older brother and him giving you money. But it's a really cool tradition. I had no idea it was just my family, but it was so cool because my senior thesis, White Boy of the Week, we got to write about that, which was so cool and such like a unique experience. It was really awesome. Yeah.
Are there any other family traditions? Are there any, like, you know, family movies that they guys like to watch? Obviously, High School Musical.
Oh my God, yes. I actually just showed my 4-year-old niece, 5-year-old now, but my 5-year-old niece that movie, and she was like obsessed with it, which I think is so cool.
Who wouldn't be?
I know, right? And I think that's the right age to show someone that movie because it changed my life. So I was like, she's got to see it for sure.
Yeah.
I think our family doesn't watch like too many movies. We're very big on shows. We used to watch Community a lot. Like I watched that show with my brother and sister when I was younger, when I was 12, and a lot of the like jokes went over my head because I didn't understand them. But now it's my favorite show. Yeah. And Childish Gambino is like and Donald Glover, he's like my favorite person on the planet. I love him. Yeah. And he influences a lot of my music and just like a lot of my art for sure. Yeah.
So was Community, is that where the love of just like film, TV is that where it came from?
I guess so, a piece of it. I definitely started to love comedy in that style for sure. But I think my love for filming and editing and all that kind of stuff, like writing, came from when I started making YouTube videos at 10 years old. I don't know why my parents let me have a YouTube channel at 10. It was crazy. It was like one of my birthday gifts. I was allowed to make a YouTube channel. And at the time I didn't have my own email, so I had to use my sister's, which is really silly. But yeah, I started making YouTube videos and like kind of gained a little bit of a following, which is so fun for a 10-year-old to have. So that was like so fun to navigate. And I think my love for TV and everything of that sort came from.
Yeah. You know, another thing that I always really admire you on is your confidence.
Thank you.
Your confidence in what's certain, but then also what's like uncertain, and also just the confidence about like putting yourself out there. Was it like, you know, with you wanting to be a pop star at a very young age, was that confidence always inherent? Did it actually come from family? Where did that come from?
That's such a good question. I was actually talking to my boyfriend Sam about this in the car, because we were talking about like being shy growing up and where that comes from. And I was like, I don't think there's ever been a point in my life where I've been shy, and not in, I guess that's like a blessing and a curse, because I'm very talkative and very outgoing and just like love talking to people. But I think that also allows me to like overshare a lot, and that kind of comes through in my songwriting, I think. But yeah, I think, I guess my confidence comes from my art and being able to feel like, obviously there are times where I'm like, I suck, I'm not good at singing, I can't dance or whatever, whatever I'm making isn't good. But I definitely channel that into my songwriting, and I think with some of the new songs that are coming on the EP, that definitely comes through. And I think it's just important to be like honest with myself. There are times where I feel like the least confident version of myself, and then when I am the most confident, I definitely feel that way. I definitely feel the most confident when I'm on stage and when I'm performing and in my element. And I think that I'm so grateful for, because opposed to feeling super nervous and like really jittery and like doubting myself on stage, I feel like the best version of myself, which I think is really important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. How has your songwriting changed over time? Because when I was actually listening to your stuff, I mean, you have Boy 2018, more of like a 6/8, like, you know, has a lot of like R&B kind of like weekend feel. Yeah. Then you have the Party of One. EP, sort of kind of a hodgepodge of actually various different like, you know, genres.
Totally.
Then you have Plot Twist has that sort of like trap like, you know, elements. Where does that come from? Where does the evolution come from?
I think that's a great question. I think that change comes kind of naturally and just like what I like to listen to. I never want to make a song where I'm like, oh, I don't want to listen to that. And I think in the past I have made songs like that just because I'm trying to make, you know, what's trendy or what does well. I think for a long time it's like getting that soundbite on TikTok that can really blow you up. But I think I have now, as I've like kind of reached this evolution, I guess, of this new era, whatever you want to call it, I think I've realized that like I have more integrity as an artist and I want to make what I genuinely want to listen to. So I think that's kind of where Loser comes in and where that whole new sound comes. And I think the new EP is really consistent with that kind of sound, that like pop punk singer-songwriter type vibe, which I'm really excited about, that I'm finally like really taking my time on the music and finding the vibe that I really like in the sound that I want. Yeah.
No, yeah, because you even say it in your Spotify, you talk about Loser as something that marks the new era, gritty, grungy, with a taste of pop star glitter.
Yes, of course.
You know? Speaking of pop stars, though, so Taylor Swift has the Swifties. Olivia Rodrigo has the Livies.
Yes.
What are your fans called?
Oh my god. Okay, my boyfriend wants it to be the Lynn Heads. Anyone like that?
What do we think?
I think it's kind of silly. I don't know. The Lynn Heads is kind of funny. When I had a YouTube channel, I had like 6,000 subscribers at the time, and for a 12-year-old, I feel like that's kind of fun. But they were called the Panda Fam. I don't know why. I liked pandas at the time.
I think that's a banger name.
I don't know
honestly.
if I want to bring that back. I don't know if it aligns, but it kind of would eat. I don't know. But it's still in the works. But if Lynn Heads does well, then maybe we'll keep it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I really want to know just about so you're songwriting, you're also dancing, you're also uploading YouTube videos. You're just doing a whole bunch of a million different things. When do you say to yourself, I want to go to film school?
When I had to go to college, I was like, okay, well, what do I do? I kind of always knew I wanted to study TV in like some capacity. I'm not a movies person. I hate movies. I can't sit there for that long. I just have a really short attention span. Of course, though, when I do sit down and watch a movie, I'm like, oh, that was so fucking good. But for now, like I really love TV and I love like the short form version of it. So I've kind of always been really passionate about it. It has been kind of like in the back burner on my mind compared to music, which has always been at the forefront. I think a lot of the things I learned from music kind of overlap into the film scene too, but they're definitely different. I think the film scene is a little bit harder for me, maybe because I'm not as in love with it as I am with music, so it comes a little bit harder to me, but I still love both of them. But I knew that I didn't want to study music in college because I knew that I didn't want someone to tell me what to do, like straight up. That's just why I didn't want someone to be like, you need to do this, or you need to know this much music theory, or you need to know that, because just music has always felt so different to me. Something with TV I was so willing to learn because there was so much that I didn't know. But not that I know everything with music, but I feel like with music it's like this like very sacred thing to me, so I didn't want it to get kind of tainted by going to music school. I just didn't want to learn it at school. I was like, I want to do this path on my own. And I'm really, really happy that I did that. I did study music business, which is something I definitely needed to learn.
Absolutely.
Just like as a woman wanting to go into the music industry, I just think like I need to know all the little things so that I'm able to like stand my ground and stand up for myself when it comes to working with bigger companies and like bigger powers, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you ever want to write any sort of musical? Would you ever want to score a film?
I don't think I have it in me to score a film. I don't think I have that skill set, but I would love to write a musical. It's one of my dreams to write a Disney show or a Disney movie. I think that would be so cool. Just because that's kind of like the genre I feel myself kind of like going into with like a little bit more edge. Kind of like White Boy of the Week. It's like kind of has like some Disney elements, but it's definitely a little bit more raunchy. So I would totally love to write a musical or something of this one.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And then also too, I want to go back to something that you said about not being really into movies, but you're more into TV shows.
Yeah.
But I want to know, and I think, and there's also a few other people who actually want to know, where did your love of Minions come from?
What? Oh my god. Okay, there's so much minion slander out there. I don't care.
There's minion slander.
No, there so was. Now people are like switching up. They're like, "Oh my god, I love the minions. They're so cute."
Yeah.
I've been on that team since I was like 15. I love the minions. I don't care what anyone says. This is Sam. Did Sam put you up to this? Sam hates the minions.
Sam hates the minions.
I think they're awesome. I fucking love the minions.
What do you like about them? When you're seeing a minion
That's a crazy
like
question.
Bob. Like,
Bob!
Yeah,
I love Bob,
when you see him
guys.
Bob.
What do I see in Bob?
No, yeah, what do you see in Bob towards like, you know what, Bob? You're awesome. You're awesome.
I love the way they talk. I think it's so funny. I have this like secret theory that I think they speak Tagalog, which is Filipino. I think the minions are Filipino. Like, quote me on it. I don't know. I love the minions. I love Bob.
Quoted. So. Oh my gosh.
That's so funny.
The internet's gonna start like a new theory. Are the minions actually Filipino? You started a whole new trend, Toby.
I actually think someone who writes for the minions is Filipino, like one of the head writers. So I swear there's some words in there.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, when you're mentioning like, Donald Glover, people who do music, film, like, where they do like a million things. Mm-hmm. What made you be like, you know what? I'm very attracted to those kinds of people, Renaissance people.
I don't know. I've always loved Donald Glover and the way that he's just able to do everything and anything that he wants. Like being able to do comedy and writing. Like he started on 30 Rock, which is so cool to me. And to like see the way that his career has just like blossomed is like so insane. I've been a fan of him for so long. I love every single one of his shows. He made Atlanta, Swarm, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which is like one of my favorite new shows that came out. But yeah, he's just like impresses me so much. He's definitely my favorite like multi-hyphenate person ever, just because he can genuinely do it all, and I feel like he does it with a lot of grace. And like with making that much stuff, you get so much criticism, I feel like, on the internet, but he just like is so chill. He's just so cool. I love him. Yeah. He's sick.
No, absolutely. With all the things that you do with film, dance, YouTube, do you see those things all feeding into your music career, or do you see it all kind of as one big circle, kind of all feeding into each other?
I think it's like kind of a pyramid. I feel like music is just at the top, like songwriting. It always has been. And I think there was a time where like dance was like my one thing. Like I was like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to pursue this. YouTube, like I was like, I'm going to be a YouTuber. I'm going to move to LA and go to Erewhon and like be silly. But it never happened. I think it just like at a time it was rotating. And then one year in high school, it was just like, nope, singing is staying up here. And it just stuck. Yeah. And I think there are elements where like my TV influence kind of comes into my music, where I'm like writing a song and I can see the music video so vividly, or like the album art, or like the visuals really clearly. And I think that's kind of like where the influence comes from. But I think music to me is like a very singular thing for me, at least, just because I love it so much, and it like just is the one thing that really pushes me through life. So yeah. You
did dance for like a very long time. Then the passion switches to songwriting. A lot of people, they might want to stay on that, like, they might want to stay on their like original path. I think because of maybe of like, fear of just that like unknown, but it's like, as you're like talking about it now, you just seem very like comfortable with it. It's just like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Where does that come from?
I think I've just never had a plan B. So I'm like, I can't, what else am I going to do? Yeah. I think, but okay, I have plenty of like life crises, whatever.
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
But I definitely have a lot of those moments, at least lately too. After post-grad and moving to LA, I'm like, can I actually do this? And then I feel like there's the like 4-year-old Toby in me that's kind of like knocking at my door and it's like, yes, you can do it. Like, it's fine. And I think my song 20-something, I think, is really about that and channels that kind of like trying to listen more to your inner child self and what you at 8 years old would want rather than you at 22. Just because I feel like you at 8 is like the purest version of yourself that really wants to go after the things that you genuinely want in life. So yeah, I definitely have moments where I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but obviously, as we all do, of course, because like, what the fuck are we doing here? But yeah, I think I think music has grounded me a lot, and my family especially is kind of where I'm like able to feel like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're in Los Angeles and you either miss your family or you want to get connected back to your culture, is there any certain food that you make? Is there any like, certain thing that you do?
A lot of the time I'll just call the source directly. I'll just
Yeah.
call my mom.
Yeah.
I literally just had to leave one of my jobs because the family I was working for is moving. So I was like on the way home calling my mom, and I'm like crying to her. Like I just feel like my mom is the thing that really grounds me and I come back to. And both my parents, honestly. And I think just like I'll just like tell them straight up like how I'm feeling. But I don't know if I can't cook very good Filipino food, so I don't think there's anything specific that I will make, but I'll definitely miss things. But whenever I go home, I get to have it, so it's worth it.
What kind of food does your mom make for you?
There's something called Filipino spaghetti, which is so good. It's like
Ooh.
a sweet version of spaghetti. It's so good. I love Jollibee. It's fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, and honestly, any Filipino food I love when she makes it, and my grandma too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it's just you, away from your family, away from all the millions of things that you do, what brings you peace?
I just got a dog.
Yeah.
Love my dog. Like, love going outside, walking my dog with Sam, and just like doing things that make me feel like I'm like a real person. I don't know. Like I don't know. Sam and I earlier talked about getting flip phones, like just for the rest of eternity now, just to like only use flip phones to communicate with people. I think trying to stay as disconnected from my phone as possible is kind of stuff that brings me peace.
Yeah.
Obviously surrounding myself with my friends and just doing stuff I like.
Yeah.
Music when it's not in like a work setting or like where I'm forced to be doing it, I love it so much. I mean, I love it in a work setting too, but I think it's just, there's two different things, like being alone in my room with my guitar versus like being here.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
With everything that you have / had been involved in, you must have built a very great community for yourself. What advice do you have for everyone trying to build a community for themselves?
I think one of the really cool things with music has been becoming super close with my band and getting to play with them and like just being locked in with them and like, I don't know. I think we have so much fun. There was one show we did, the Rocco show.
Yeah.
That we got to open for like the sold out Moroccan lounge, which was the craziest and coolest thing I've ever done. And we came off stage like, and we were like, that was crazy. Like there's just like that feeling afterwards. And I think there's such a cool sense of community and like togetherness. And I think we've built such a family. At least all of my music friends, like even you, like everyone that I have known through music, there is such a strong sense of community and like artistry. So I think it's just really cool. I'm grateful for it for sure.
Yeah. Talk to me about that show. Talk to me about the preparation of it.
Yeah. I think we did 2 rehearsals. That's usually what we do. My band, they're wizards. I barely tell them anything about, I mean, you'll see, but we'll be like, okay, let's try this song. And they're like, how does that one go again? And I'll sing like 4 counts of it. And they're like, all right, got it. Like they're just wizards and they're like so magical and I love them. But preparation, we did 2 shows. That one I was a little bit nervous for going on stage just because it was like 500 people or something.
God.
Yeah, it was crazy. We sang Sunflower Girl as the last song and someone held up a bouquet of sunflowers and I was like about to start sobbing. It was like the coolest thing ever. I don't know if it was intentional or not but I don't care. It was so cool. That was the first time I've ever had to do like a meet and greet and I got to take a bunch of pictures with people, which was so cool. I was like, you want to take a picture with me? I want to take a picture with you. Like that's so sick. And I got to sign I signed someone's phone. Crazy. Who is that? I don't know who that is out there, but it was so cool. It was just like one of my favorite shows to this day. Did
you also do Alex Page in that year time frame?
I did, yes.
So you did Alex, Rocco, Flower Moon.
You did do Flower Moon, yes.
Which you headlined. Toby, you've done so much like amazing stuff.
Thank you.
With all of your like, with everything that you've accomplished, what would you tell your teenage self?
Once I realized that I should start embracing myself as a Filipino woman and like being a brown person, I think so much started to make more sense. So I think just like about finding that confidence and just sticking to who I am is really, I mean, like that just like applies to all ages. It doesn't matter if you're a teenager whatever. Even in my 20s, like that's something I would want to tell myself. But I think just like stick to who you are. And I feel like I've always kind of had this sense of knowing who I am. So I think just like tell myself in high school to just keep going with it. And I think that would serve her well.
Yeah. No, yeah. I like, it's such a cool time because you're out of college. You're at this, I guess, say inflection point. Where do you see your future going?
I want to be able to do music as my one financial stability, one thing that's keeping me financially stable. And I think I can get there eventually. It's kind of the age where you do need to do a bunch of side hustles as an artist and just like do a bunch of different things. Like I'm a nanny and whatever, like I do random stuff like that. But I definitely want to see myself going on tour. I would love to go on a tour. I would love to start as an opener for someone on tour and just like go around the US. I think that would be so much fun. There's so many random states that I haven't been to, so I think that would tour is the best way to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But obviously one day I want to headline my own tour and like be on a label and stuff. But we'll get there. We'll get there one day.
No, absolutely. You're going to be that pop star. In your opinion, what makes a great pop star?
Oh my goodness. Confidence, I think. Confidence and, like I said, kind of having this sense of knowing who you are. Being able to say no. I'm really good at sticking up for myself. I think a little bit too much. I think I'm a very fiery person and I will tell them how it is, or I'll tell them like I don't want to do that. So I like that. I like it. I think it comes in handy for sure sometimes. So yeah, just being able to stick up for yourself is very important for being a pop star, but also I think a sense of humility. There are so many times too where I feel so doubtful of myself and what I'm doing, and I think even though those feelings really suck and it's not the best thing, it's really important to channel those and kind of put them into your art for sometimes. Yeah.
And I think that honesty that you have about yourself, I think it's helping a lot of people. I want you to know that. So is that how you want to inspire people once you reach that like pop star point? How do you want to inspire people? What do you want to say with your music?
There were so many moments, like when I was 4 and I was watching High School Musical, I was like, wow, I've never seen a girl that looks like me on my TV. And I want that to become so much more of a normal thing for other little girls that looked like me, and I think they should be able to look at their TV or go on iTunes and hear, do people use iTunes? Apple Music. Go on Apple Music or whatever and see like a picture of me or, someone that looks like them, resembles them, and to feel like they have a place. And I think that's where like a lot of like Sunflower Girl stemmed from. So I think just like feeling like they belong, everyone wants to feel like they belong. So I think if my music can be kind of that safe haven for them, that's truly all I could ever ask for. Yeah.
2 more questions for you. So I want to go into the future. You've officially reached your pop stardom goal. Who do you want to be there with you?
Yes, I'd love to bring my same band with me. I think there's something fun. Like, they're just the girls. Even though they're all guys, they're just the girls. Like, they're awesome, and I think we really have a good communication on stage, and we really understand each other, especially, like, if we screw up a song or we screw up as part of some, whatever, a number, like, we just know to keep going or to whatever. Just keep, the show goes on, right? So I think of course, would love to bring them. My family, like, without a doubt, obviously will be there. I think my dad would be like a killer stage manager. I think he'd be awesome to bring with. I feel like he could like help me build the stage sets. Like I just feel like he could do that. That's something he's always doing, like the most random side quests. He's very talented, but I think he would just be so much fun to have on tour. And then of course Sam is my assistant. I'm just kidding. But Sam would come with. Gotta bring the dog. Yeah. Oh my gosh, bringing dog on tour would be so cute.
Really cool.
Our little bear. Yeah. Everyone. Yeah.
Cool. So, last question, and I want to go back to the present moment here. With your pop star journey and I guess where you're at now in your life. Actually, just give me 1 second here.
What is that? Stop!
Toby, what do you think about the journeys so far?
You are so crazy. This is crazy. That's so cute. This is amazing. Is this a vinyl? Shut up.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. Showing the cameras. Get in on that, guys. There's me. This is so sick. What the fuck? I'm gonna frame this and put this in my room. Did you ask me a question or was it?
It's all good. It's all good.
I love this. You guys are awesome.
Tobey, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
And thank you to everybody watching. At the end of this video will be a pop-up for Tobey's vault session. Go watch it. I promise it is something you will not want to miss. Additionally, you can also follow Tobey's various social media accounts in the description of this video. She's someone who you want to follow. This is an amazing journey that I think all of y'all will want to keep up to date with. Thank you so much for watching Vault Talks, and we will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.